Hello. I recently had a little understanding about awakening and enlightenment and the difference, and yet at the same time, how they're one and the same. And I want to just share this small message. Awakening begins at a certain point. You start opening your eyes. It's literally waking from a sleep. Waking from a state of disconnection in a sense. And I mean that in a very literal term. I mean that in a very literal way. Like when you go to sleep, you go somewhere else. You go somewhere else aside from the fact that you have a vessel and that you are in a physical world. Like, you are a spirit. That's why you can do that. That's why you can go travel. During your sleep. But yeah, so anyway, awakening, you're opening your eyes into the reality, into a physical reality. And on a spiritual journey, this can be very, very overwhelming, especially within this context, because this world is crazy. This world is outright crazy. So, this stage of the process can be very overwhelming and very confusing and very scary and very frustrating. You're awakening, you're opening your eyes, and it is scary. What you are seeing is scary. And this is where I think the distinction comes. Is that you lean into that experience and you continue and you start to experience enlightenment. Enlightenment. The process of light coming into you. The process of you becoming an embodiment of light. Gradually, as you awaken from your sleep. As you go through the process, which, when you think about waking up for the day, sometimes it's a bit more of a process, sometimes it's just like that. Sometimes it feels like that in life, like on a spiritual path. It feels like that in retrospect, but there's a lot of layers. There's a lot of layers one has to peel back and just move through, and attachments, especially attachments. And as you release attachments and as you release the electrical charge of your attachments, you peel back the layers. You become more simple. You become more consolidated and direct. Like, your frequency no longer has so many it becomes more stable. You become more stable in frequency. And this is where these two concepts merge and what is it? Converge. Merge and converge, okay? This is where the two concepts merge and converge. Oh, sorry. Sorry, B. Sorry, B, that I got scared of you. Okay. Awakening and enlightenment. As you become enlightened, as you become embodied and full of light, you start realizing all is one. And then you come back to this awakening moment where you realize, where you realize that, like you actually realize that, and you see that everything is one, that everything is in place. So you awaken initially and it's frightening, and then as you gain, or as you go through this process of enlightenment and this growing, this embodiment experience of light frequency, then you awaken again and you see the fact that everything is in place. Everything is as it should be. Everything is one. Everything is working in harmony. Even the destruction, the chaos, the frightening things, you awaken again to this fact. And then that is like the ultimate enlightenment. Because then you clearly see, you're awakened to the fact of this reality. And that's pretty beautiful and pretty cool. Like, beautiful. Beautiful. This reality is beautiful. It really is. Some will take this path, others may not. But it is what it is, still. Even if people are sleeping through it. So, that's the message.